For this project, we're going to go over how to make an accordion book. That's the middle white section, and also how to add decorative paper to the front and back cover. For this project, you will need an 18-inch ruler, scissors, pencil, glue stick, 2 boards. We're using boards from the back of a sketchbook, and a sheet of decorative paper and newspaper. First thing you need to do is place your paper in front of you horizontal or landscape. At this point, your paper should be horizontal, your ruler vertical, then line up the edge of your ruler with the edge of your paper. Follow the 2-inch mark, and it's really the big long line right next to the number that you're following. Then go to the other side, 2 inches down, make another mark. Rotate your ruler to be horizontal now. Line up the edge of the ruler with the 2 marks you just made and then draw a line straight across. We're going to use this line a little bit later. But for now, flip your paper over and fold your paper in half. Try and line up the corners exactly. Now it's time to flip your paper over and follow the line that we made earlier and try and fold the edge of the paper on that line exactly. Flip your paper over, and then on the other side, we don't necessarily need to make another mark, we just need to follow the same folded edge that we did on the other side. Okay, I'm going to turn this around so that it's facing the same direction you might be working. Take the left side and the right side and line those up and then crease the center line. Once you've creased that center line, go ahead and open up your paper. Bring the outer edge towards that center line, line it up as exact as possible, and then crease that edge. Then do the same thing on the opposite side. Whenever you're making another fold, you want to make sure that it creates an accordion. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, always folding opposite as the previous fold. Crease the entire book together, and then you're ready to add a cover. Alright, you should have a piece of decorative paper. We used a type of cardstock piece of paper. It's a little bit thicker, more durable. Fold that piece of paper in half, horizontal. Open it back up, and we're going to draw some stuff on the back. The only reason we're drawing stuff is to know where to cut and what to cut around. Place your piece of cardboard in the center of one side of that paper. Then using a ruler, put that ruler right up against your piece of paper and draw a line all the way across. You want to make sure that there's plenty of room so that it will overlap a little bit. Then leaving that cardboard in the middle, continue moving that ruler around your piece of cardboard, making each mark as you go. Then, holding the cardboard in place, mark around the square itself. Then repeat the same steps to the other side of your decorative paper. It is now time to start cutting. So using scissors, you're going to cut along the outer edge of the outer square. If we were to fold these pieces over, we'd have a lot of excess. So what I'm doing now is just cutting off the corners of each square. Make sure not to accidentally cut the square itself. You want to leave about a 1/2 inch gap between that drawn square in the middle and the outer edges. Alright, it's about time to start gluing, but before we do that, we need to place something underneath our paper so we don't get glue on the table. First thing we need to glue down is the board. So I'm going to use a lot of glue. Make sure that there's plenty on there. We want to make sure this cover sticks really well. And we're just gluing inside that square. It's okay if you overlap just a little bit. Then place your cardboard into that square. Try and make sure that there's some of your decorative paper along the edges of the corners. Sometimes people forget to do that. Then you're going to glue top, bottom, and then left, right. So I'm gluing the top. I'm also making sure glue goes all the way to the edges. I fold the board up. It allows it a nice snug fit. I also push in the corners. Then I do bottom, so top, bottom. I kind of lift the board up so that it creases it a little bit, then finish with my fingers. Again, make sure you push down the corners. Now it's time to do the sides. The glue we're using looks colored, but once it dries, it's going to dry clear. You still don't want to get it on the outside of your decorative paper, but it's not a big deal if it does. Okay, we're done with one cover. This will be maybe our front cover or our back, it's up to you. But we have to make another cover for our back. But this time, I'm going to do it super fast. Alright, now it's time to glue on our covers. The things we need to glue down are inside this little piece. We also need to glue on the outer edge, and this will attach our cover to our paper. You can either glue the paper itself or you can glue the cover. In this example, I'm going to first add glue to the cover. Once you've added plenty of glue to the cover, you're going to attach it. Make sure that it's centered on your book. Then there's a couple more things we have to glue down. Inside we have this little gap. So we're going to add a little bit of glue inside there. And then we're going to be putting stuff in these pockets. So this outer edge of this one pocket, we're going to add just a teeny bit of glue and then glue down that edge. Once in a while you have little areas that aren't fully glued down. Just make sure you finish gluing those down completely. Alright, time to glue down the other side. If for some reason you don't have scratch paper underneath your project and you get a little glue on the table, just rub it with your finger and it should curl up and come off as long as it's still in the wet stage. And here's what our final product looks like.